Sixth grade lesson 3.5 is all about absolute value. And absolute value is a number's distance away from 0. So let's say I had the number 2. His absolute value is 2 from 0. What if I had negative 2? His absolute value is still 2 away from 0. So if I had a negative 3, how many steps is that from 0? 1, 2, 3 steps from 0. So 3 is the absolute value of negative 3. 3 is also the absolute value of positive 3. 1, 2, 3 steps from 0. So in reality, what absolute value really does is allows us the chance to temporarily ignore any signs, positive or negative, because it's not about the positive or negativity of it. It's just about how far into that realm it's gone. So it becomes useful when we're dealing with scenarios, adding and subtracting integers and things like that, which you'll get into next year. But let's have a look at how this comes out in this lesson. So you'll see absolute value written in probably in a way you haven't seen something before. You'll see something like this with these straight lines like this that you haven't seen before. This is just saying the absolute value of negative 3. Negative 3 is here. How many steps from 0 is it? 3 steps from 0. So the absolute value of negative 3 is 3. And like we said earlier, the absolute value of positive 3 is 3 as well, because it's all about how many steps from 0. It's not a positive and negative, it's how many steps. So here's our first challenge. In 1934, a cargo ship called the Mohican sank off the coast of Florida. Oh, that's sad. Divers today can visit the ship at an elevation of negative 32 feet, or 32 feet below sea level. Use a number line to find the absolute value of negative 32. Again, absolute value is how many steps away from 0. So probably in your mind you already know what that is there, but let's go ahead and do that. They want us to use this number line to find the absolute value of negative 32. This is an elevation of negative 32 feet underwater, right below sea level. So I'm going to go from 0 sea level down 10, 20, 30. Negative 32 is about here. I'll mark it. How many steps away from 0 is this negative 32? It is 32 steps away from 0. So the absolute value of negative 32 is 32, or 32 steps away from 0, or 32 units away from 0. That's it. I know it seems super easy. You're temporarily given permission to ignore any sign. Absolute value is neither positive nor negative. It is just representing the distance. Let's look at this next example. A food scientist tested a new dog food on 5 dogs. Each dog's weight was monitored during the course of the test. The results are shown in the table. Positive values indicate weight gain in pounds, and negative values indicate weight losses in pounds. So we had a Buck who gained 3/4 of a pound, Goldie who lost negative 5/8, Mackerel who lost 1 7/16 pounds, Paloma who gained 2 1/8 pounds, and Spike who lost 3/8 of a pound. They wanted us to graph each weight change on the number line and then find their absolute values. All right, so the graphing, let's see on the line, it's broken into 4 equal pieces between each number, which is useful here for Buck. 3 out of 4 positive. So we don't make it to the 1 yet, so it's 1, 2, 3 out of 4. I'll mark this here, and I'll give that B for Buck. Then we're doing negative 5/8. If this is split into 4 equal pieces, then double that. So each of these would be representing 2 pieces out of 8. 2, 4, 6, 8. And I need to do 5 of them. So 2, 4, and half the other one, 5, would be right there for Goldie. Then we're going to look at Mackerel. Negative 1 and 7/16 will split into 16 equal pieces. 4, 8, 12, 16, right? So we only need 7 of those 16. So we need to go past negative 1, and then from negative 1 we need 7 out of those 16. So 4, 8, just before the half mark. We'll mark it there. That is mackerel. Then Paloma gained 2 and 1/8. These are split into 4s, 1, 2, 3, 4. So double it, 2, 4, 6, 8. 2 and 1/8. So 1 full, 2 full, and 1 out of 8. So right in between there for Paloma. And finally, Spike is -3/8. Again, if they're broken into 4 equal pieces, to make it 8 equal pieces, we double that, 2, 4, 6, 8. And we need a different color for Paloma. We'll go black on that, or for Spike, I mean. -3/8 from 0 is going to be 2, and then half that more, 3, right there for Spike. And the easier part of this is simply giving the absolute values. This is the distance from 0 each of these are. Buck is +3/4. Here he is. He is 3/4 of the way from 0. Goldie is -5/8 here. That is 5/8 away from 0. Mackerel is -1 7/16. How far from 0? 1 7/16 away from 0. I think you're getting it. You're surprised that it's this easy? Yep, it is this easy. Paloma is 2 1/8. There's Paloma. How far from 0? 2 1/8. And Spike is -3/8. How far is that from 0? Spike is here. He is 3/8 from 0. Notice I did not put a positive nor a negative on any of those numbers because absolute values are about ignoring the signs temporarily. It's how far from 0, not about whether it's a positive or negative. The final example on this is they want us to find all integers that have an absolute value of 7. All integers that are 7 away from 0. Well, if I start at 0 and I go 7 away this way, there's 1. If I start at 0 and I go 7 away this way, there's another that's 7 away from 0. So I have -7 and +7 that are both 7 away from 0. Absolute value of -7 is 7. Absolute value of +7 is 7. So both -7 and +7 have an absolute value of 7. That's it for this lesson. Absolute value really is that easy.